Well, hi, Lily. InShalla and Ashe. As always, blessings to you, my energetic beings, and Hala. Welcome back to today's daily snippet, Monday. I almost said August, but it's April 11th. I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic medium and subtle energetic surgeon. Um, Practicing or merging the indigenous technologies. Sorry, I went blank there. The wisdom of West Africa, the essential spirit within the Dagara tribe in Burkina Faso. Amazing. With these subtle energies, elements, elemental beings, and so much more. Just basically the elemental realm into the imaginal realm with offerings, rituals, and prescriptions to add to your own personal juice, your own personal container. My wisdom, my intention truly is to merge the wisdom of these indigenous technologies within these subtle realms, the etheric highway, to assist you into navigating your prime directive, your inner genius, just really reintroducing you to what I believe is the magical being that resides in there. And I call myself a holistic Shah medium. My name is Tanya D, and just welcome to my virtual medicine room. So with the frequency of the day, it's kind of on our outer rims, if you will, the streams that flow between one field and another, the field of our emotions and the field of our heart, and the subtle realms, the subtle auric fields, I guess. But being consciously aware of those who, and the feelings, what are threading through, whose feelings are these, and are they reactive emotions or active ones? So emotions definitely need to be validated. These are our own inner emotions, and even more so with the moon in the season of Leo. So these are our heart-based emotions, our heart's necessity, the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities, where we forget about our worries and our strife. That song, I actually looked that up today. The bare, like in nakedness, those necessities. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do on YouTube, Tanya D. Go ahead and hit the bell button so you are notified. And also, if you don't mind, please be kind and like or share my videos so that algorithm on YouTube echoes me out to like-minded musers like yourselves in the galactic universe, along with other social channels like Instagram, TikTok, and Musing with Tanya D, my podcast, which actually reminds me, my podcast for this week is out the gate today. It's all about Mars. Even an invocation to the elementals in this one. It's in the beginning. So I also just finished Earth, old Earth, beings of Earth, the planets and the beings that came to Earth from those planets. And being that I've been watching Legends, DC Legends, I really find these characters quite hilarious, just funny. But knowing that our emotional field is online, up to and a few days beyond the full moon, which I'm also going to be recording that little snippet today too, was getting downloads from the universe. But it's like what's expanding and breathing through our bones is the structure of the future within these personal beliefs, just elevating our thoughts and our knowings, our knowingness, expanding our heart with so much excitement that we channel in the beliefs that are really in alignment to be like a beacon, a focal point, just bustling us to the waterways of where to go, just exploring our unlimited possibilities of our actions, our characters, our behaviors in our outer world, like how we are seen. So this is how our belief structure literally starts that foundation to build, filling through our heart space. And being that the moon is in Leo, which is also the sun, it's our heart that's supercharged, just working in collaboration with our feelings and expanding this light. So it's like takeoff. It's an ignition switch, like when you turn the car engine on. It's the action that we take for this course, this pathway into the future, just filling into those galactic super juicy waves. So it's like the sun and the moon, the energy of the two together, which have been online for quite a few of the new moons, up to the last one, the core of it. But the inner knowing comes from spirit, the bounty of Jupiter expanding what we feel and what we believe. So this is where or how thoughts become things, that high vibrational thought patterning, since we have the juice for it out into the outer world. It's like who we are seen as to the outer world, those situations, people, places, and things. And we won't revisit this thread until a year from now. So we kind of have this boomerang of energetic centers online as well. The sacral, our emotional channel, our heart, the relational, love, and otherwise our third eye. So maybe feelings of being blinded by love. I think I may have mused about that last week, but also our solar plexus, our mental clarity, the pathway forward with those future visions, the knowingness through the third eye. And I also forgot, it just came in, Aries is also Mars, which is our action and our character and where that plays out. For example, my personal channel to Mars is in Libra, so it's opening up to receive like a double dose through those actions, what I take action on, how I'm seen in my day-to-day life, how I create beautiful things in those actions that are also valued and manifesting in the village. So it really is vital for me, for the degrees of my Mars, to act with character, fairness, balance, things that are of Libran quality, opening up to receive. However, being committed to the balance of it, the fairness, before I really take the action. So in saying that out loud, I take action when things are valued within myself and my day-to-day or the other, and I'm committed to offering that value, manifesting things, situations, etc., of value, which is the second house in the processing. But Mars is now at the end degrees of Aquarius, which now that I see why I'm so on fire lately, because I have an air trine into the channels of spirit and feelings, like thoughts and feelings and air. Thoughts, feelings, vibration, energy, feelings and sensing. So I sense the everything in the vibrational realm, the thought realm, telepathy, dreams. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole there, but wherever Mars is in your chart, it's really activating that aspect of where it's transiting. So mine is in the realm of service, what I do, leading up to how I manifest, being valued as an otherworldly healing manifesto. It actually feels super juicy to me. But Aquarius is frequency, it's vibrations, it's energy. So it's like lightning striking. And then I could also kind of muse and go into look to see where Aquarius or Uranus is right now, the ruler of Mars too, which is in Taurus, just ripping the rug out from all the realms, recreating the earth to this elevated level, star seeds and all. But that was a lot. But the messages of the day, I feel the other world kind of coming in, but I also went with the Seers. Which, who doesn't love the light seers, right? The Seers of Light. And remember also, if you would like a tug for your day, comment and share my show to the village near you, a community. But the Ace of Swords, this is our thoughts, swords. It's also a metal or mineral energy. The ace, the one, the number one. So that's like new ideas, it's clarity, those aha moments. Insight, the truth being revealed, or reveling into that truth as well, having awareness and higher states of consciousness, memory, thoughts, even a stroke of genius, if you will, a stroke of luck. So this is massive clarity being on its way, a new doors opening up for us, often unveiling a life-changing idea or a significant spiritual breakthrough, and expecting those aha moments to be like more lucid, to kind of piercing through our awareness, that spiral there with the light, just reveling a totally fresh vision for your future. So as the essence of it begins to really spiral in, the spiral of that magic, it becomes kind of comprehension, like we can understand it, and using this time to see things as they truly are, to tune into those new beginnings. The quiet insight of having a conscious mind is really being made available to us. So you may experience a rapid expansion as our conscious mind kind of integrates this newfound information or foundation or insight, and just knowing that nothing can really compete with the fierce rays. Kind of reminds me of the radical fierce, the Werame, the rays of wisdom and truth and nature. So if you're finding yourself with clouded judgment, maybe you have stalled thinking, it really is time to seek the brightly lit energy of honesty and just gathering our discernment, our intellect, our knowledge, those insights, and clearly communicate the truth that's kind of bubbling up to be witnessed, to be seen. So it's as if we are going to experience these brilliant moments of clarity, possibly insight, ancient wisdom within our bones. Um, so kind of filling into that, but just following the Ace of Swords, which is, I should probably just stop there. But we have the Knight of Swords, which is also otherworldly, however. But it's the forces of adversity. This is being unfocused, having scattered energy, acting too quickly, being impatient, the need for a more logical solution, possibly feeling held back by frustrating circumstances, stalling, a stalemate, to the point of being hard-edged or even emotionally unavailable, unpredictable even. So knowing that the knight has one thing on his mind, and that's running towards success, having that determination, passion, and intelligence, and being able to articulate whatever that is. He has this intensity that really is hard to grasp. It's metal, right? It's swords. It reminds me of Excalibur, going back to Lancelot again, but just having the grace and the speed of being an athlete or turning on a dime. But being that it's otherworldly, there's some doubt about that success. So it's like, are we bringing our belief and our competitive assertiveness into a situation, or how determined are we to accomplish these things, to charge ahead with our quick thinking, maybe strategic decision making? Again, metal, right? That's what I'm seeing in swords, but striving for excellence within our day-to-day, every single day, in order to bring a little of that magic into our lives. As with all powerful energies, you may just run the risk of being overly forceful, maybe domineering. So just be careful not to hurt others with our impatience to win, even if we are feeling scattered, distracted, or blocked. It's like spending time just organizing our thoughts, mental mind mapping, if you will, just making sure that all of that energy is kind of idling or simmering in the same direction, the same flow. And when we begin to move quickly to assist others in doing so, that's when our dreams also expand. Helping others, right, really kind of helps us. And our final message, let me make sure I've got these here. There we go. One day I'll figure this out and be so swift. I'll be like, woo, otherworldly. But our final message comes from the Nine of Swords. This is also metal mineral. So it's all about thought, vibration, fairness. I'm using just about all the air signs, the elements of mineral and metal, words, telepathy, etc. But the Nine of Swords is an air of action number. It is Mars. It is all the air signs. So this could possibly be paranoia, deeply anchored fears, having the inability to think with clarity or be clear about something, possibly even having inner turmoil, negative self-talk, things that affect our self-esteem. It's even an opportunity to actively begin a healing journey, just opening that door and see, it's like what's keeping us up at night. So this message possibly could suggest it's a time in our lives where negative thoughts are gaining that momentum, when we find ourselves expending too much energy about worrying about the future, having self-doubt, how we perceive everything. Perception kind of is everything. So don't allow the negative self-talk to really trip you up. So if it is a pessimistic mindset, just spiraling wildly out of control, it can lead to anxiety, stress, depression, even when our thoughts carry no truth, no frequency vibration. Are you imagining the worst instead of activating the best, and just flipping our perspectives and sending those nurturing, loving thoughts to our situations to overcome any disruptions or disturbing thoughts, the forces of adversity, and just looking into the light within those situations and just noticing even the tiniest little window of brightness that can keep fear away, and using our light to expose those illusions, allowing things to dissipate and soften, like those worries or doubts, as our bad dreams are being illuminated for what they really are, just seeing those fears as those illusions that they are, and doing so. So it's kind of curious, a lot of metal today. However, on the elemental highway, it's going to be curious too to see how much metal energy we have on our day, but it is a yang wood horse of a day, a yaya wu. So there's lots of wisdom in the transformation, like the prime of it. It's the spring, so we have wood elements are just bursting through. Our day has lots of yang wood with the month and the day, and on the year, the tiger on the stem, yang water sitting over there too. So our day has big water on the year to actually feed it, and fire, the horse, to produce it, yin fire, which is also perfect, creating something juicy. And the yang earth, the dragon on the month, that's actually known as unbecoming wealth. But that would be the purpose of a yang wood daymaster, is the element or the animal on the month branch there. So I would say that we need more metal to trim down all the wood, taking all the energy from the messages of those swords, putting them into action by trimming those trees. So even though we're still in the season of spring, the nature element, the wood elementals, it's slowly losing strength. So the yang earth, the dragon, is actually very strong. And we definitely need the yang metal for our day to weaken the dominant yang earth, the dragon, and to trim the wood. Ideally, it would be in a combination with some of the yin fire, the horse, not too much. Because of the earth, the earth is strong as well. And the water element is also can be used to bring in the moisture. I mean, metal, the messages of the swords, that just may be our asset for the day. Tuning into those messages, maybe re-listen to those messages and muse on them. But our day, the yaya, that is a strong, sturdy tree. So if you have this master element, you literally mimic a sturdy tree. You are deep rooted. You stand firmly in place. Just like a tree, a big galactic super juicy tree. I'm thinking of the baobabs, but they can withstand almost anything with no reason, right? Sometimes they seem bullheaded, maybe persistent, driven, and just getting what they want. So just like a tree, they don't fear growing or going in any direction, whether it's deep into the earth or galactic juicy out into the sky. But these people will talk to you in that direct manner. They don't sugarcoat their words, actually. They're sometimes viewed as being a little too blunt, maybe thoughtless. No metal, so I would go with the thoughtlessness. Even if they don't mean to insult anybody, but they're always kind. That's a thing about wood energy, is kindness. Fire energy is joy. Water is peace. Earth is contemplation. Metal is courage, these frequencies. But being that wood is always kind, they always act. They're great at being in partnership, basically, a right hand, because they can be trusted, and they're very protective. They're loving of the people that they love, the people that are under their tree, blossoming and growing within their garden. Even if they end up as a runner-up, they really don't hold grudges. They're more of a team player, I would say. They're loyal. They don't give up easily either, because they focus on the big galactic picture, visualizing the big major grand scheme of things, or pinpointing and narrowing in on different issues. But it's also a mental mindset, if you will. So they tend to get directly, it's very goal orientated, directly to the end goal, without ever thinking over those small details, overthinking them. So that kind of gives them a tendency to be a little frivolous, especially when it comes to making decisions, which are metal frequencies, even though when they are called on to make a decision, they need metal. So these people do this without additional promptings, which kind of creates the hasty decision making. So they don't consider all the facts at hand, I guess. So these people make decisions as a reaction, which then can be a little dangerous, because they're hesitant about rethinking or correcting any of the decisions that they've made, even if they're oblivious to them. But just knowing that they have deep roots, they hold space, they hold place. So they tend to grow deep, long, strong ones wherever they live or work or family, wherever the sun is actually shining in the chart. But they often don't hesitate to move just within changing a job or relationship, places of living. That's very stressful for them. So they sometimes avoid it no matter what. But seeing how they base things on their beliefs and their experiences, they really find it difficult to be objective about the way they do see things. So even if they're asking for an opinion about, with their friends, the situations, events, or even the others, it's mostly because they want someone to agree with them rather than asking for that advice. It's like trying to talk down to a big tree in a way. So they love to point others actually into their right direction to get them on their path. So given their ability to articulate their thoughts kind of smoothly, easily, they do well in professions of teaching or coaching, life coaching. But most of the time they can come across as crossing the line, going from teaching or coaching to criticizing. And that makes them be seen in a bad light. However, our day doesn't really carry that energy today. So it's placing a lot of importance within careers. That kind of defines the frequency of who they are. So they are actually willing to stay employed even if they're not paid a lot, as long as that position is influential, a sphere of influence being seen like a big tree. So their wealth and their appearance actually, that really is the ultimate confident booster for them. So these people need to feel that they have this elevated financial status to be more confident, to have more self-esteem. And they don't really bank on having a sharp mind. But at the same time, they really have this sexual nature about them. And this prompts them to feel good, to dress up, and to have otherworldly greater self-esteem. However, their self-esteem, because it's yang, it's outer, it's life, outer life, external factors, just knowing that they're not religious based at all. They would rather stick to what they believe. They're really confident when things are going well. However, once they suffer a setback, they seem to sometimes be pushed down. So they're prone to losing that confidence, that self-esteem. So they actually don't get angry very easily as long as they see it as a means of losing control. But there can be instances when they do become angry. It is yang wood element. It is the liver. It is anger because things are spinning out of control. The same way that a tree can stand firm in the middle of a storm, but they can be blowing in all directions. And if that's the case, it really is vital to take a step out, take a step back, and look at things from the big picture, from the mountaintop perspective, the farthest branch, I guess, to keep those things within perspective. But knowing that our day is born in the spring, it is prosperous. It is very prosperous, actually. So we're going to have somewhat of a prosperous day, but our tree does need some regular trimming. That's why we need the yang metal and the yin fire, the horse of our day, because yang wood is predominant, but it's not necessarily strong. Where the yang fire, if you wanted to go outside and build a fire, or yin water, that could also be highly beneficial. But yang wood being rather sensitive, really when it comes to elemental supports, the elements supporting yang wood, it actually needs the conditions to function properly, all of the elementals, actually. So a tree, needs the sun for the warmth to grow, water for nutrition, strong earth, the dragon, to provide that stability, and strong metal for the trimming. We've got a lot of yang wood here. So oftentimes they're seen by others as not doing very much, a shade tree. But notice that a tree has a very important function, vital function, not just providing oxygen, but also providing shade. All my trees got ripped out. I have no shade in the function there or the oxygenation. So two things going on. But oftentimes their work goes unnoticed to those who don't look carefully. But once they are gone, they are greatly missed, whether it's a physical tree or a person, actually. So they often have a problem that they can't be on top too long, like a tree can expand for so long. For example, whether it's in a company, a different market, a profession. So just like the tree that can grow way too big and it needs to be trimmed, even like I'm seeing a bonsai tree for some reason, to give space to the other growth, the other plants. So they're excellent in being the right-hand person, woman, or the right-hand roles. But if you were to look at a list of famous people, you'll notice that almost all of them struggle to stay on the top of their game. A lot of them struggle with addiction. Some have died early. And often some of them can't even get on the top regardless of what they're doing. So they're often or always kind of overshadowed by 2 or 3 players in the game or the village, but they're protective, they're practical, they're loyal, they're kind, determined, they're straight, and they initiate. They initiate the change. Keanu Reeves, who I love, has this day master. Liam Nelson as well. Francis Coppola, one of my favorite wines, just to name a few. Elvis Presley, Daniel Radcliffe, it'll be curious here. But being that our month has the dragon, the element of wood, our day master, the young wood, it's the profession that has to do with earth-related industries like housing, creating housing, developing houses or places to live, earth-related industries, selling houses, realtors. So it could be that our house market possibly has issues today. I know that I'm hopeful that the developer taking advantage of my village gets the wrath. Just saying that out loud. But it's as if our energy of the day is leading us to new pathways to be exposed, pathways of success, because it's spring, our life is growing, it's expanding, it's also changing the outer worlds because that's how far it is, dragon energy. So these energies should be fun. Sometimes it's exciting, sometimes it's scary, right? And sometimes it's even impulsive. So sometimes we even jump to conclusions, often assuming. So this energy sometimes easily gets swept away if it's not grounded. So having some roots into our reality, with our big tree here today, it's also inviting us to spring out from anything that's holding us into the past, try something new, something daring, something bold, and just flowing into a galactic, juicy future. So the best way really to manage these frequencies, these energies, is through connecting our feelings, checking in with our bodies, our senses, our beingness inside of ourselves. You know, sometimes we do need a tune-up, just shifting our energies to be in a state or a zone of neutrality, centered, releasing those feelings, possibly even anxieties, just by tuning in and connecting with our feelings in the moment to moment and grounding ourselves throughout the day, being grounded like a tree, different elemental grounding than grounding into the earth, right? I talk about the elementals and a few of my online corridor my assets, my offerings. But once we are grounded, we can tune into these frequencies of our heart space to see what we are attracted to, what we do believe going throughout the day to sparkle like the gem, the metal, the frequency. You know, that's the metal frequency that we need. So, but in the big picture, just exploring these different pathways, these different highways, getting into the flow of our plans, those directions, also wood frequencies, plans, goals, directions. Where do we want to go? Doing our own investigation, being our own investigative reporter when it comes to different topics or products and services that might actually serve our vision, our intellect, our intuition. So when our heart and our feelings are literally in alignment, we can actually flow into that stream without a gravitational pull a lot deeper. But by chasing the flow of these interesting paths, you may uncover one or more ways of an action or a change within our future. So just paying attention to it, if it really lights up your heart, sparks your heart today, what feels good within those feelings, and exploring the ideas that our heart's most attracted to and allowing our creativity to lead the way. Just kind of utilizing today to really educate ourselves, utilizing our intellect, our experiences, even experiment with a new boundary, a different way of protecting. It really is a day to explore. So with all of that and all of our harmonics online practically, you know, it's the seed sound of metal. That would be great. The Sammy the snake, the channel of our third eye, the Om channel, which I prefer the sound of silence myself. We could also utilize the heart, the Yam channel. We could utilize our solar plexus, the Ram channel, or even the Vam channel, the sacral and the root, Aries, the Lam channel. Like seriously, we could utilize every one of these. But I would affirm that I am expanding my thoughts and feelings and opening my channel, my heart space, and just truly believe in yourself, believing in the power to change your life, to shift your life, go in a new direction, take a new pathway. Just expanding what your definition is within the joy channel, the love channel, the peace channel, all of the elemental channels, actually, the kindness channel, the courage channel, just changing the story of our long-term ambition, the story of yang wood. We need some oxygenation as well. The metal is oxygenation in the body, where the wood is vitality. It's our life force. It's energy within all of these. And so with all of that, I feel as if I have completed our day, quite frankly. But I will see you on the other side, InShalla and Ashe. Blessings.